Welcome back, everybody. This is Learn to Unlearn, episode 34. And I wanted to do a part 2 of Uncharted Waters. And I need to explain that probably because Uncharted Waters, what do you mean Uncharted Waters? Well, Uncharted Waters is a very graphic way of saying that we're shooting in the dark. It's basically saying that, we take our lives in our own hands. We try to heal ourselves, and take the word try out of there because there is no try. Do or do not, says Yoda. But, we're taking our lives in our own hands, okay? We're healing ourselves. We're definitely shooting in the dark because we don't know what to expect. We've never been taught how to take care of our own body. We're always told to go to the doctor, go to the ER. And I don't really want to repeat myself too much because they're very important points, and I couldn't stress them enough, but I really don't want to keep repeating the same thing over and over again every show, even though that's probably what would end up happening with somebody who's sincere and who has one area of life that he focuses on and that he needs to keep repeating because he's good at it and he's become good at it. He's done research at it and it's affecting me personally. So, I mean, here I am. I'm talking to you. I feel more fit now than I ever have. So it's creating an understanding between you and your body, not you and your mind, you and your body. You're closed off north of the neck. And this is daily, doing with our bodies what we should be doing, taking care of it like we should be. Most of us are broken by disease, man-made disease, and are in pain most of the time. So I can only say that I'm blessed to be in the position that I'm in because I don't have as much pain as most people do. So that's one really good aspect of it. And guess what? You're no longer alone. For the people who think that, this is me and this is what I'm going through and I'm all by myself, you're not. You're not by yourself. You're not alone. This is scary stuff. And this series wants to help you take responsibility for your own body, your own soul, because no one else will. It's as simple as that. If you go with the flow, just like everyone else, like, you're in that sea of people and you do just like they do. You pop the pill, you go see the doc, you go to the ER, you get a blood test, and then you get antibiotics again. Your body won't be able to heal as it always wants to. This is the problem. Because you're not giving it the right foods, the right elements, the right nutrients to get it into the healing mode properly. Makes sense to me, and I'm basically proving it all myself. So with that, a little quick update. Maybe I should have started the show by explaining what this series is for people that are just new to this series here. Or to this episode. I'm basically doing this series, Learn to Unlearn, a return to health, to monitor and to caption and to screenshot and to show everybody what I'm doing week to week, because I'm not doing chemo and radiation. I'm not doing pharmaceuticals. No. So this is all about my return to health naturally, and it's a bit disturbing to the medical establishment. They don't really like it very much, but hey, whose body is it anyway, right? So after 33 shows, and this is number 34, here's a quick update. After feeling strong and steady for this week, I will say, really paying attention to balance and eating well. And I'm going to throw some stuff at you that, you're going to be rolling your eyes probably, but something interesting. I found some saw palmetto, which is 1,200 milligrams instead of my usual 475 that I take. So that has definitely helped to improve my condition in the past week. And I was taking 2 of those 475. So it was, that even helped even more with just one at 1,200. And if it doesn't help, your body will tell you right away, no, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. Well, more of this. And it's so cool because you listen. So what's the end result this week? My pain level Instead of being around 6 or 7 daily, it went down to 4. I have an easier flow of urine. I have good color. Cramps and spasms are weakening, not as long lasting either, and not as frequent. So these are all signs, you know, they're little tiny signs that your body tells you about. And most people just don't pay any attention. Oh, if I'm not hurting, I won't be paying attention. So I was quite active, for example, yesterday. And last night I started to have those Charlie horses in the bottom of the leg and in the ankle. And oh, okay. You know, so you sit down, put a blanket over you, over your legs to, you know, at 92 degrees outside, you take a thermal blanket and you wrap, this is what I did. I wrapped my legs in it and it was so hot that it was a treatment. And within 15 minutes, you don't feel it anymore. I didn't even get Charlie horses last night during the night at all. So, as we move on, and this isn't going to be a long show. So, one thing I wanted to say that's very important is that you keep getting signs when you're ready for them. You know, anybody can say anything to you at any time, but if you're not ready to hear it, it flies right over your head, right? Alkaline versus acidic. Cancer cannot live in an alkaline environment. Yeah. But when you're ready to hear it, boy, things change pretty quick. When your life is in jeopardy, and your well-being and your loss of pain, starting with my doc, I call her. She came into my life, this person, Sherry, and after healing me, she disappeared as fast as she came in. She put her healing touch in there with no BS methods either of her own, putting me on greens only for 5 days. I only made it to 2, but that's in the beginning of my series, in the first episodes. All the way to this week, when I heard somebody say, do your body a favor, eat a plant-based diet. And I stopped and I went, wow, do yourself a favor, do your body a favor, eat a plant-based diet. Yeah, how many times have I heard it? Oh, millions of times in my life, right? Yeah, you know. Encouraging plant-based foods, like it was sent by God just for me, just that message. Here it is, you know, in your face again. How many times have we heard it in our life? Over and over and over. So this time I'm ready to hear it. And guess what? Just like magic. And with the avocado, or the half of avocado that I'm taking per day, with the SCAC, which is an incredibly powerful cancer fighter. It's a combination of 4 different roots together. With the saw palmetto that I'm taking, with the milk thistle that I'm taking, with the garlic tablets that I'm taking, occasionally, not very often, but occasionally. These are all things that are really going to help, and they're supplements too. So if you can get closer to the natural, it's even better. Something else that you hear people say is try to eat less out of a box. In other words, processed food. In other words, mashed potatoes that come in a box, just add water, that kind of stuff. Or, you know, anything in a box. So, yeah, it's a challenge because you're by yourself. And you don't have somebody helping you, or you don't have somebody eat, you know, making you dinner and you can sit down and eat a home cooked dinner. I haven't had that in a long time, you know, it's things like that. So we need to encourage ourselves to stay healthy. And this show this week just wants to say, hey, you know, it's working. And last week it wasn't. Last week was really hard. This week is going up. Next week, you never know, it might be higher than we are today. Even better, you know, more, I can't use that word. It's French. I'm always trying to translate, but you know, it's working towards a euphoric state and giving thanks for what we have. And since I'm one of those sensitive souls, I wanted to finish with 2 beautiful quotes that, again, just dropped in my lap, right? And that's a really important point, what I was saying in the show today about how You know, we can keep hearing it. We can keep hearing it from people. We can roll our eyes. But once we're ready to hear it and we know how it applies to us, it's like the brakes stop. You know, the brakes just seize up, and you know, it's time to it's time to slow down and listen. And it's up to you too. You know, it depends. You know, like the name of the show says, Uncharted Waters. We're scared to death. I can actually say it. We're scared shitless, okay? Because we don't know where we're going. We don't have, you know, an owner's manual for this stuff. So we were never taught how to take care of ourselves because there's no money in it for the elite. And I encourage people to, you know, go into Rockefeller medicine, you know, find out why marijuana was prohibited. Cannabinoids were prohibited in the 1930s. Find out why Monsanto all of a sudden came out of nowhere, you know, and Big Pharma shows up now. And speaking of Big Pharma, there's one CEO from a Big Pharma company that actually stood up and said, it's got nothing to do with healing people. This is a marketing, it's a business. It's shareholder business, he says. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he says. It's got nothing to do with health. This is about business. So we're in the business of taking care of ourselves. I'm in the business of taking care of my health. Nothing is going to go in this body until, you know, I know what it is and I agree with it. And that goes for vaccines, and that goes for, you know, the COVID-19 test, and that's something else. If you guys want to know about that, just message me and I will let you know, because I don't want to get political on this show, or too political anyway. So thank you for listening, and rehash the message. It's a really important one. And I'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.